Dear students, let us begin The Merchant of Venice today. And this play is very famous and it is written by William Shakespeare.
Dear students, today we will study The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. Today we are going to have the explanation of a movie, Act 1, Scene 2. Enter Portia. Portia is in lead role and Nerissa also enters. Portia and Nerissa enter. This is the explanation. Portia says, by my truth. Truth means here faith. Nerissa, my little body is aweary. Aweary means tired of this great world. Dear students, here Portia says, I swear, Nerissa, my little body is tired of this great big world. Dear students, earlier she has been in the process of choosing the correct, right, appropriate husband for herself. That's why she is rather tired of them. Further, Nerissa says, you would be, sweet madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortunes are, and yet for aught I see, they are as sick that surfeit with two, much as they that starve with nothing. It is no mean happiness, therefore, to be seated. In the mean, superfluity comes. Superfluity means here richness. Comes sooner by white hair. Here, white hair means gray haired, but competency lives longer. Competency means the person who is having just enough to eat lives longer. Nerissa explains further. Here Nerissa says, if your troubles were as great as your good fortune, then you would be tired of the world. But as I see it, it seems that those who live in excess are as unhappy as those who starve with nothing. One should be happy then to find oneself somewhere in the middle. Having too much brings on gray hairs, while having enough to get by gives you longer life. So this was the practical wisdom of Nerissa, which was told by her in front of Portia. At this, Portia says, good sentences and well pronounced. It means you have said well, truly said. Then Nerissa says, they would be better if well followed. It means if these sentences are followed, so it would be better for all people. Portia says, if to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels, chapels means here churches, had been churches. Up here, chapels means a small church, and poor means cottages, princes' palaces. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps over a cold decree. Such a hare is madness, the youth, to skip over the messes of good counsel, the cripple. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me husband. Oh me, the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would nor refuse whom I dislike. Dear students, these lines are most important for explanation in order to have the questions of reference to the context. So is the will of a living daughter curbed? Curbed means here controlled by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse one? Dear students, Portia says, if doing the right thing were as easy as knowing the right thing to do, people would be better off. Little chapels would be big churches, and poor men's cottages would be princes' palaces. It is a good priest who can follow what he tells others to do. I could more easily teach 20 people what the right thing to do is than actually be one of those 20 and have to follow my own teaching. Your mind may exercise control over your passions. Passions means your desires, but a hot temper trumps cold reason. Young people are like mad rabbits. They hop over the fences of good advice, but this kind of reasoning is not going to help me choose a husband. Oh my, that I use the word choose. I can neither choose to marry the one I want nor refuse the ones I don't. The will of my dead father overpowers my own wishes. Isn't it unfortunate, Nerissa, that I cannot pick which husband to choose or refuse? Dear students, you can say that according to Portia, we can say that she says over here that she is not able to choose and she is neither able to refuse because she has taken an oath that she would get married according to the choice of the devised plan by her father. So she is very obedient. Further, Nerissa says, your father was very virtuous. Virtuous means very pious, holy person. And a holy man at their death have good inspirations. He was full of qualities. Therefore, the lottery means here that a devised plan of three casket that he hath devised means here made, in these three chests of gold, silver, and lead. Here, chest means boxes. Lottery means a devised plan. Devised means here made by Porcia's father. Virtuous means a person who is having great virtues, qualities, pious person, and those caskets were made of gold, silver, and lead. Whereof who chooses meaning chooses you will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who shall rightly love. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come? Nerissa here says, your father was always virtuous and holy men, have good ideas when they are dying. He has set up a lottery where your suitors will have to choose between chest of gold, silver, and lead, and whoever chooses the right one will win you as a wife. And I am sure whoever chooses correctly will be a man who will love you well. But what are your feelings toward the princely suitors who have already paid you visits? It means Nerissa wants to know whether Portia is having any inclination to the suitors who have visited her. At this, Portia says, I pray thee, thee means you. Overname them, it means just enlist them. And as thou means you, namest, it means you will call them. I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection. Portia here says that she is going to describe those suitors when Nerissa would call. So in this way, Nerissa would be able to guess her affection. So Portia says, this is the explanation. Please name them one by one. As you name them, I will describe them and say how much affection I have for them. At this, Nerissa says, first there is the Neapolitan prince. Nerissa tells Portia, first there is the prince from Naples. At this, Portia reacts, A means yes. That's a colt indeed. Colt means here the young horse. For he doth nothing, doth means does, but talk of his horse, and he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts, that he can shew himself. I am much afeard, my lady, his mother played false with a smith. Portia is very bitter in her words. Here says, yes, that one's a stallion indeed. He does nothing but talk about his horse, and thinks that it speaks well of him that he can put the horse's shoes on it all by himself. I'm worried his mother had an affair with a blacksmith. So you can say that not only she talks ill of him, even she talks ill of his mother. So she is very bitter in her words. At this, Nerissa says, then there is the County Palatine. Nerissa tells further that then there is the Count Palatine and the prince. Portia reacts, he doth nothing but frown. Frown means shows anger. As who should say, and you will not have me choose. He hears merry tales. Merry means here happy tales. Tales means stories. And he smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. I had rather be married to death's head with a bone in his mouth than to either of these. God defend me here, protect me from these two. Explanation of the above lines, Portia says, he does nothing but frown, as if he is saying, if you will not have me as your husband, choose someone else. He doesn't smile when he hears funny stories. I worry that when he grows old, he will turn into a weeping philosopher. Since he is so full of impolite sadness as a young man, I would rather be married to a skull with a bone in its mouth than to either of these men. God defend me from these two. So you can say that Portia is not going to like even him. He means here County Palatine. At this, Nerissa says, how say you by the French Lord Meunier le Bon? Meunier is a French word, it means gentleman. Nerissa says, what do you have to say about the French Lord Meunier le Bon? At this, Portia says, God made him and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker. Mocker means to make a laugh or comment, jeer at. But he, why he hath a horse, hath means has. Better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If a throstle is a bird, singing bird. He falls straight a capering means wavering, dancing. He will fence with his fence means soldiering, moving a sword with his own shadow. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise means here hate me, I would forgive him, for if he love me to madness, I shall never requite him. Dear students, Portia says here, this is the explanation. God created him, so I guess he counts as a man. I know it is a sin to mock someone like this, but he deserves it. He has a horse better than the prince from Naples, and frowns more than the Count Palatine. He imitates qualities of every other man. It means he copies qualities of other persons, so that he seems to have no personality himself. If a bird sings, he starts dancing right away. He will show off his fencing moves against his own shadow. If I were to marry him, I would have 20 husbands. I wouldn't mind if he despised me, because if he madly loves me, I will never return his affection. So you can say that Portia is also not going to love this man, this French Lord Libon. Further, Nerissa says, what say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England? Nerissa says here, what do you have to say about Falconbridge, then the young Baron from England? Baron is also like prince. Portia says, you know, I say nothing to him, for he understands me, not me, nor I him. What kind of difference she is talking about? I think she is talking about language differences. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and swear that I have a poor pennyworth in the English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse? Converse means here communicate with a dumb show. How oddly means here strange. He is sweeted. I think he bought his doublet in Italy, his round hose in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his behavior everywhere. So you can see that she is talking about him, that he is having no no personality of his own, just like other. Portia says, you know that I say nothing to him because he can't understand me, and I can't understand him. He knows neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you would swear in a court of law that I have practically no English. He looks like a proper man, but who can talk with a someone who can't talk back? And how strange his clothes are! I think he bought his jacket, bonnet means here, jacket, in Italy, his socks in France, his hat in Germany, and his behavior everywhere. It means particularly he is not following one fashion, not one manner, not one habit. Nirsa says, what think you of the Scottish lord, his neighbor? Then Nirsa tells Portia, what do you think of his neighbor to the north, the Scottish lord? At this Portia says that he hath a neighborly charity in him, for he borrowed a box of the ear of the Englishman, and swore he would pay him again when he was able. I think the Frenchman became his surety and sealed under for another. The explanation of the above lines is, Portia says, I think he has a neighborly sense of charity because he received a slap from the Englishman and only threatened to hit him back later when he could. I think the Frenchman promised to join with him to pay the Englishman back and added another slap. So you can see that this man is also not suitable for Portia as far as she thinks. Further, Nerissa says, how like you the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew? Nerissa again asks Portia in a simple words. Let us explain. How do you like the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew? Then Portia says, very vilely in the morning when he is sober. Dear students, this is the most important passage or dialogue in this play for examination. Very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he is a little worse than a man and when he is worst, he is little better than a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell, I hope I shall make shift to go without him. Portia says, I dislike him in the morning when he is sober. Sober means gentle. And I really hate him in the afternoon when he is drunk. At his best, he is not quite a man, and at his worst, he is barely better than a beast. Beast means an animal, wild animal. Even if worst comes to worst, I hope I won't have to marry him. So you can say that indirectly by telling all the demerits of the man, Portia refuses to marry him. Then Nerissa says, if he should offer to choose and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will. If you should refuse to accept him, Nerissa further tells Portia, if he chooses the right casket and you refuse to marry him, you would be refusing to follow your father's will. It means Nerissa is now pulling the leg of Portia. She is taunting, and even she is enjoying the reactions of Portia when she is not able to get married of any suitors. Portia says at this, therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee, thee means you, set a deep glass of Rhenish wine. Rhenish wine, this is a kind of wine, red wine. On the contrary, contrary means here opposite, casket. For if the devil be within, and that temptation, temptation means here greed, without I know he will choose it, I will do anything, Nerissa. Means here before. I will be married to a sponge. A sponge means here drunkard. Portia says, well, then, for fear that might happen, please place a glass of wine on the wrong casket, because I know he will choose that one. I will do anything, Nerissa, to make sure I don't have to marry to a sponge. Nerissa says, you need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords. They have acquainted me. Acquainted means they have instructed Nerissa with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their home and to trouble you with no more sweat, unless you may be won by some other sort. Sort means kind, than your father's imposition, depending on the caskets. Further, Nerissa tells Portia that you don't have to worry about any of these lords, my lady. My lady means here Portia. They have told me their intentions, and they are all planning on returning home and not bothering you anymore unless they can win your favor by some other way than your father's plan with the casket. Portia says, if I live to be as old as Sibylla. Now, this is the most important extract in the play of this scene. I will die as chaste. Chaste means holy. It means Portia compares herself with these two ladies who remained themselves bachelor throughout the life. Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless I be obtained by the manner of my father's will. I am glad this parcel of wooers, wooers means suitors, are so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote on his very absence, and I pray God grant them a fair departure. Portia further says, let us have the explanation what Portia says over here. If I live to be as old as the Cumaean Sibyl, I will still be as chaste as Diana, unless I am married by my father's plan. I am glad this bunch of suitors have too much sense to play the game because there is not one among them whose presence I actually enjoy, and I pray that God may grant them a smooth trip home. Dear students, here two personalities have been added, Sibla and Dinah. So first of all, let us try to know about who was Sibla. The Sibyl of Cumae, a prophetess in Roman mythology, Apollo granted her, Apollo means Apollo god, granted her as many years of life as there were sand grains she held in her hand. Here she is used as a traditional old woman. And next is Diana, the goddess of virginity, means chastity. In Roman mythology, she was also the goddess of hunting and of the moon. So, like them, Portia wants to lead her life if she is not being chosen by any of the suitors. Further, Nerissa says, do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, Venetian means from Venice, a scholar and a soldier that came hither means here, in company of the Marquis of Montferrat, he was the prince. Nerissa further reminds Portia, do you remember, lady, lady means Portia, from your father's time in Venice, a scholar and soldier who came here along with the Marquis of Montferrat? Portia says at this, yes, yes, it was Bassanio. It means hearing about that Venetian. Portia is curious to know, and she still remembers him, saying that, yes, yes, it was Bassanio, as I think he was so called. So Portia says, or she still reminds, Nerissa says, true, madam, he, of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon, was the best deserving of fair lady. Nerissa here says, that's right, madam, of any man my foolish eyes have ever seen, he was the one most deserving of a beautiful lady. It means really Bassanio was a deserving man. Portia says, I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. Thy means your. So because that while listening the name of Bassanio, Portia is now happy and she wishes that he might come over there to choose her. Portia says, I remember him well and I remember him being worthy of your praise. Enter a serving man. Serving man means a servant enters. How now? What news? How are things? What news is there? It means Portia asks the man. The servant here says, the four strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a forerunner come from a fifth, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word the prince, his master, will be here tonight. The serving man here says, the four foreigners means here the suitors who had come over there, they want to speak with you to say goodbye, madam, and ahead of them comes a fifth person sent by the Prince of Morocco, who brings word that his master, the prince, will be here tonight. Portia says, if I could bid the fifth welcome with so good a heart as I can bid the other for farewell, I should be glad, glad means happy, of his approach, if he have the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil. I had rather he should strive than wipe me. Come, Nerissa, and here she says to servant also, Sirrah, go before, whilst we shut the gates upon one over, another knocks at the door. Portia says here in a simple word, let us try to know. If I could welcome the fifth person as happily as I will say goodbye to the first four, then I would really be ecstatic. Ecstatic means here very happy to see him. If he is as good as a saint but as dark as the devil, I would rather he listen to my confession then make me his wife. Come with me, Nerissa. To the servant, you go ahead of us while we shut the gates on one suitor. Another one comes knocking at the door. Exit. Portia, Nerissa, and the servant exit. So in this way, the Act 1, Scene 2 comes to an end. Thank you, students.